So I wanted to make a Mogwai, like a Christmas bauble. So I started by making a little line drawing, just a sketch to try and get the proportions right. I then cut it out. I wanted to separate all the different pieces. I then needed something to build onto, so I used a piece of cardboard, covered it in tin foil, and built it up that way before I put any clay on it, just to give it a firm backing. I managed to find a gold paper clip, which I put on the back of the cardboard just so I'd have something to put some ribbon through to hang it from the tree. I fastened it in place using a bit of tape. Now I just wanted to roughly build up the shape of the face using tin foil, so I made little circles for the eyes. Scrunching up a bit of tin foil and holding it in place with a bit of sellotape, you can just make the rough shape, it just makes it easier in the end and gives it a bit of depth. This way you'll end up using less clay and the finished product will be a lot lighter. I know absolutely nothing about sculpting at all, this is really a first for me, but I'm using this DAS air drying clay. It's easy to use and it's pretty cheap as well. So I just rolled out a little bit of clay, quite thinly, and just started to put it over the tin foil, just trying to get the rough shape, build it up a bit.
Mogwai? Why would anybody want a Mogwai? No, they're far too cutesy-wootsy. If I had a Mogwai, I would feed it after midnight and let it turn into a gremlin. Far more fun!
Yeah, well nobody asked you, did they? So come on, clear off, bub. Now for the ears. What I did was got a couple of cocktail sticks and just cut them sort of in half. And I rolled out a thin piece of clay and just cut out the shape of the ear. The cocktail sticks are going to be used to pin the ear to the side of the head, which just help hold it in place. I'm just trying to build up the ridges of the ear, give it a bit of shape. We'll also curl it round a little bit as well. Then just repeat the process. Sometimes when I'm working with clay I like to start these things, they look a bit ragged, and then I'll let them dry off a little bit and we can add more detail later. Next, onto the eyes. I needed 2 balls of equal size. I lined them up with the eyes that I cut out just so I got about the right sort of shape and size I wanted. Now my clay has dried off, I need to stick all the bits together. So I made a couple of little holes for the ears and put some fresh clay on, just to push it into. Then we just need to stick the eyes in place and build up a bit of the sockets around them. I didn't actually have any clay working tools when I started this project, so I ended up using a knife and a kebab stick, so I think really you can use pretty much anything you find, but I have bought some since and it's a lot easier. I'm really just trying to flesh out the face at this stage and get it to look something like a Mogwai. Anyone who knows anything about sculpting or working with clay is probably cringing right now. I found that making little slices in the clay made it look like hair, gives it a fur-like texture. I think it helps to mark out things with the pencil sometimes where you need to build up areas and where things are going to be. And then it's just a matter of going, adding the clay and seeing how it looks. Then I kind of let it dry again and get back to it, just repeating the process. I put some more clay on the back of the head, then little scores in it again just to give it a kind of fur-like texture. Now I'm pretty happy with the model. I'm going to give it a little coat of primer. This is just a cheap one I picked up from Poundland. Seems to have done the job alright. After that we're going to go over it with acrylic paints. grey of the primer was actually quite difficult to cover, so it was a matter of doing lots of layers really. Once I'd worked out where the pupils were going to be, I marked them with a pencil, then drew them in with a Sharpie. Once I was happy with the painting, I gave it a little spray of varnish, again just some cheap stuff that I picked up from Poundland. It seemed to do the job okay. Once it was done, I hung him on the Christmas tree. I was quite happy with him. But I couldn't leave him on his own, so I made him a little friend, a mohawk Mogwai.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh yes, and I'll see you in hell.